How you can create AngularJS CRUD operation using PHP and MySQL is shown in this tutorial. First of all, I will create a database named AngularJS. Click on the database tab and type your database name AngularJS. Okay. Great. And there is no table here. So next step is to create the user table. The SQL is given here. Just copy and paste this command in SQL. You must select the database name first. Then paste the command here. Create table user, ID, name, email, phone, created, modified, and status, where ID is primary key. Go. Our users table is created already, and this is the structure of this table. Now go for the step 2. Create a folder named AngularJS CRUD in htdocs folder. And this is our C drive, jam, htdocs, and create the folder here. New folder, AngularJS-CRUD. Okay, our folder is created and it is empty now. And go for the next steps. Copy the bootstrap mean CSS or bootstrap CSS, jQuery, bootstrap mean JS, and AngularJS. Copy these 4 files into the AngularJS CRUD folder. My all required files are stored in this folder, so I will copy these 4 files. And store it in AngularJS CRUD folder. Okay, go for the next step. Create a PHP file named database.php in AngularJS CRUD folder and add the database connection code. Just copy the code and open any editor. Okay, just paste the code here and work this code down. Here, a class named db is created here, which has a public variable $db and a constructor which will create the database connection that I have created before. Our database name was AngularJS. You can set your database name here, username and password. Okay. Just organizing the code. Okay. Now save the file as database.php. And AngularJS file. Now save the file in AngularJS CRUD folder. This is our AngularJS CRUD folder and type the file name. Okay, go for the next step. Search and copy image icon of edit, delete and down arrow and paste it into AngularJS CRUD folder that I have already searched before. Now I will copy this file. Delete, edit and arrow. Copy. Paste in AngularJS CRUD folder. Okay. Now go for the step 6. Create an index.html file. First of all, I will create the file HTML and is the code from here. The code is divided into 2 sections. Just first copy this part, paste. Okay. Here you can see our body part is empty now. I will add the codes into this section later. Now save the file as index.html under AngularJS CRUD folder. Index. Okay, now go for the next step. Action, create a new file action.php which will attach the database.php file to create the database connection. So I'm copying this code and create a new file action.php. Okay. You can see there are 4 parts: view, add, edit and delete, and by default status invalid. Okay, save the file. Its name action.php. In this code, a method getRowsQuery is called, which will be declared in database.php. And the code is given in step 8. So just copy this code and add it here. The function of this code is to retrieve all records from user table and return the data to the caller. And this function, an output of this function will be stored here, and this will return the all record information in JSON format to the caller index.html. The code will be added later. Now save the file. Then go for the next step, step 9. Replace the body part with this following code. Just copy the code and go to the index.html file. Just replace the body section with the step 9 code. What is done in this section? First of all, the 4 file links are created here, and there is a simple CSS code just designing the table row columns and alert. The body part and module declaration is on step 10. So add this script and add it under the style tag. AngularJS module name CRUD app is declared here, and the controller under this module is user controller. The function of this controller, first of all, to retrieve all records from the user table. And here will send HTTP GET request to action.php with the type value view. Save the file. And action, when he get the value as view, type value as view, then it will select all record from the user and call the get rows. Get rows method is declared in database.php file, and the function of this method is to execute the select query and return the result to its caller, which is here, and this will return the all records in JSON format to its caller, which will be here. And this way, this code will retrieve all user record from the table. And in the body section, a table tag is added here to show the all user record in tabular form, and there will be two buttons, edit and delete. The image file is stored in previous step. Okay, now I will run this code. And this is the portion, and you must type here localhost to run from the server and execute the PHP code. Now you can see I have inserted one data in previous step, which is displaying here. Okay, now go for the next step. This is the select part or read record part is done. Now go for next step, step 12. For add or edit, add a form in your body section before the table tag, which is mentioned here. So go to the index file. This is our table tag. Just add the code here. Complete codes are shown in 2 steps, so add the next part also. Okay, this is the add or edit form, which will display the 3 fields: name, email, phone number, and 2 buttons: add user and update user. And this code will need to add the data into the database table user. Just copy the code and add it in the head section, which is mentioned clearly here. And go to the top section and add the code here. Okay, the function of this code is to insert or update user data, and I will explain this code later. Just copy this part also. Add code to display success and failure messages, and message will be shown as an alert. So add this in this part. Okay. First of all, function to add user data. This function will call the save method with that parameter to store the data in the user table. And this function is used to update or edit data and send request to the action.php file to do edit or update. Okay, in this section, when it is called save user with that parameter, then it will call this function, and here type value is set as for add. If the type value is set as add, then this will call another post request to action.php file, and action.php files add section is here, and I will code here. I will add code here to do the insert operation. And after calling this file, if the status is okay, then this part will be executed if this is a function of edit or update, and this part will be executed if it is just a insert. So first of all, I will insert the data, and to insert the data you have to add code in this section also and add code here also. So go for the next step. Action.php file to insert data into MySQL. Just copy this section and go to action.php and add the code here. Okay, what is done here? Just reading the value of each field and stored in this variable, and write the insert query and call the insert function or method, which will be declared in the database.php file. So go for the next step, step 16. Just copy this file and add it here. Must remember before the last ending bracket. So this will just execute the query that will be passed from here. And if it can execute the query and insert it properly, then this message will be displayed. Otherwise, this message will be displayed. And if any error occur in this step, then it will go to this section and this error will be displayed. Okay, now save both files, and again try to insert some data using AngularJS from step 17. Just refresh. Now you can see one drop down arrow is shown, which is arrived from this section. The code that I have added in before the table section, and this is the image which will be work as a pattern, and it will show the form, AngularJS form to add or insert user record. So go for the next step, step 17. Run the index.html file from the server. Click on the drop down arrow, and this is the AngularJS form to insert the record, and I will add a new record here. You can see new data is arrived here and inserted. Now, how to activate this button? Edit or delete. Then follow the next step. Step 18. Add the AngularJS code to edit or update data. And add this code into the head section, of course, into the head section of index.html file. Just before the success method, add this code, and which will handle the edit operation of user record. And the next step is to add code in action.php file to handle update request. Just copy this code and add it in the edit section. Okay. And the next step is to add the method to run update query into the database.php. Okay, how the edit operation will be done? It will be start from here, from this button. When the user will click on the edit user button, then it will display all the record by using this method edit user. And when the user click on the update method is here, update user. When the user click on update method, then it will call update user. Update user is shown here. Wait, this is our update user, and it will call save user method with edit value. Okay, and save user with edit value, then type will be edit and send post request to action.php with edit value. And action.php when get this case true, then it will read all the records from the field and call the update function of the database.php file to update the query. And this is our update method, which is defined in previous step. Okay, now I will save all this file and run my index.html file again. Now check edit button is working now, and I will change the phone number here. Okay, update user. Now you can see the phone number is updated. In this way, our update operation can be done easily using these three paths. Now go for the next step, step 21, for handling delete request. So just copy this code and add it into index.html file. Just add the code before the message section. Okay, I will explain the code later. And add this code into action.php's delete section. So copy action.php delete, and add this code into database.php to execute the delete query. Of course, before the in bracket, sorry. Now save all these three files, save all, and I will explain the code how the delete operation will be done using this code. This is our delete button. When the user will click on this icon, then it will call delete user. Delete user is this method which will call a dialog box for confirmation, do you want to delete it or not. And if you press yes, then it will send a post request to the action.php file, and action.php file will read the user ID value and define the query based on the id value and call the delete method of database.php file. Database.php file will execute the delete query, and if it can delete, then it will return true to action.php. And if it's properly can delete, then this will be true and it will show this message, otherwise it will show the error message. After that, this message will be returned to the index.html file, and if it can get OK message, then it will show the success message, otherwise error message. In this way, delete operation can be done in this by using this code. Now I will do a delete operation, so refresh the code and click on the delete button. You can see the message arrive here. Are you sure to delete the user? Okay, now our record is deleted. In this way, you can simply implement CRUD operation in AngularJS using PHP and MySQL database. Thank you for watching.